tested quiz. They shooting shots, hitting bricks. We testing the kids.
Welcome to Deep Thrones, the most entertaining podcast in the world of Ice and Fire. I'm your host, Sims. Your other host, Sheedy's here. What's up, Sheeds?
What's up, Chris? What's up, everybody?
What a year.
What a year. The year of our Lord, 2026.
The year of our Lord, 2026. First of all, I can't believe that it's August already. It's football season. We're through. When we started off this year, we're like, we have 2 series to cover, and it's going to be freaking epic.
Yeah.
And now we're through it. Like, what happened?
It went by in the blink of an eye. I believe it was November, we did an episode covering the Dunk and Egg trailer for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms Season 1. And, like, in our pre-production, we talked for the longest time about how, like, House of the Dragon Season 3 didn't even seem real. Didn't even seem like that's June. Like, that's so far away. Like,
Yeah.
Let's not even worry about that. And here we are. Wowza, the fastest year ever.
Fastest year ever. And it's disappointing on one hand that we have to wait 2 years for House of the Dragon again, but it's such a blessing that we have A Night of the Seven Kingdoms back in 2027.
I'm so excited. They just finished filming A Night of the Seven Kingdoms Season 2, which is based on the book of Sworn Sword.
A Sworn Sword.
A Sworn Sword. I did see someone online say, I wonder how the fan base, like the casual fans, are going to react, because it is a character piece.
It is. So we'll get into this more as we kind of roll into season 2 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I would say ranked of my favorites of those novellas, there's 3 of them out. My favorite was A Mystery Night, which is the 3rd one. A Sworn Sword is my 2nd favorite. And
The first one.
the one that we just covered, The Hedge Knight, was my 3rd favorite. And saying that means a lot, because A Hedge Knight was a fantastic book as well. So
People loved it. So you liked them literally in reverse order, 3, 2, 1.
yeah, 3, 2, 1.
Wow, that's awesome. And what else is awesome is that this is the 2nd ever Thronies.
2nd ever Throne.
We did it.
Man, this time it's going to be double the fun, because we have 2 series to cover, which means 2 sets of nominees. Almost. I mean, how many new segments do we have?
Dude, we put so many categories out there. We had voting for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days. Each day was multiple things. Some days were 6, some days were 5. And the participation, thank you guys.
Amazing participation. You guys drive Deep Thrones. The Deep Thrones fam is the core of this podcast, and all the text and, conversations,
Debates.
even debates about,
They're great.
what we think about certain scenes or certain episodes. It really fuels us. So thank you. And of course, thank our 3rd member of the podcast, Kinzie, who's not able to be here as well. But yeah, we really enjoyed this season for sure.
I've said this, and I'll say it on the pod, since I said it to Chris and Ken's off the pod. This has been one of my favorite years doing this podcast ever. But obviously we always have so much fun doing it. I mean, it's just an excuse to hang out with your friends, kind of escape the doldrums of reality a little bit, and talk about a dragon show, or, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, no dragons, right? Just talk about a world that is so rich with characters and history. And the fact that so many of our pals, so many people we don't really know, our families engage with it in the way that they do and have fun with it, makes it kind of worth it. For the texts that we get on Mondays, on Tuesdays, while we're watching the episode, it's so much fun for us. I think me and Chris have been added to a lot of me, Chris, and another person text groups quite a bit about the show, and I love it, because it's always like we're hearing their opinion on the show, we're getting memes. I mean, how about it? Every show we're in like 5 or 6 of those, and it's great.
And it's so much fun. And what was the number one country? Obviously, U.S. was the number one country.
U.S.
What was
God, it's the second. It was so random. It was I think it was Germany.
I think it was Germany, right?
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Advidasen.
They better be well behaved over there.
Chill, relax.
Keep listening to the pod though.
Yeah,
keep listening
cool.
to Deep
Germany's
Thrones
cool
pod.
now.
Oh, they're great.
They've been cool
They're
for a
great
long time
now,
right?
Yeah, for sure. A few generations,
Yeah.
maybe 2 generations.
2 generations.
Yeah.
1.5.
So all that being said,
Yeah, our Germany numbers just went straight. We just take the most
Man.
American thing ever that we
Wow.
can do is just burn our bridge with a very respected listener. We apologize.
we apologize to all our German listeners. We do love you and we appreciate you.
Here's a hot take: VPNs. Could it be American listeners using VPNs?
Could also be German listeners using VPNs for some of the other countries that we see on there.
Oh, wouldn't that be wild for people in other countries use VPNs and it makes you American?
Yeah. How about, what if US is our number one listener by, like, fraudulently?
Whoa, that actually would be pretty cool. I would love to. We do. So we get these statistics of like who our top like listener countries are, and like we have listens in like I would say most countries. Australia surprisingly is lagging; they're not getting involved. But a lot of Europe, Ireland, a lot smaller listen counts than I would have suspected. But Germany was big. The UK was big. I think Spain, Russia.
Spain was good. Yeah,
Russia.
We've got a strong Russian contingent.
Strong Russian in the fatherland.
Which I don't know. That dude.
all right, dude.
Whoa, Germany is the fatherland. Russia's the motherland.
Gotcha.
Come on.
How very American of me again. Don't
Yeah,
know what's going on.
we'll have to cut that out so we don't lose our listeners.
In Russia, no, we've literally isolated both. Let's do it. We'll name more countries. How? Where else can we lose listeners?
But listen, we've got like a star-stacked show for you here today. Some of the members are out in the crowd. I see Ira Parker out there. What's up?
Oh my god, yeah, Ira.
Thanks for coming.
Yes,
Ryan Condal, whatever, dude, just like standing back a little bit.
Yeah, Ryan Condal could not be here tonight. He unfortunately was adapting another. I was gonna make a joke about him somehow trying to be here, but mixing it up with something else. But there was no natural segue to it, so instead I just looked like a fucking idiot.
Well, you could always just say he lost himself at Harrenhal for a season.
Oh my god, Chris, that's why we're such a good team.
There we go. See, look at that.
Pleasure doing business with you. And that's the episode. Or no, we got all these segments.
Before we dive into the segments, though, I would like to have a sort of post-mortem or just, final thoughts on the seasons that we witnessed. We'll start out. We'll do them chronologically. So, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, absolutely fantastic series. Surprisingly delightful, refreshing. Some of if we were to do like a word chart or kind of word bubbles of which ones are the largest, I think, fresh, refreshing, new take.
Yes.
Some of these things of like funny, hilarious,
heartfelt,
sincere.
Really heartfelt.
But it was a new look at something that I think a lot of our listeners and a lot of the watchers of the show were starting to become a little, after season 2 of House of the Dragon, of like, is this what the rest of these spinoffs are going to be? Is it all going to be dark and dragging on a little bit and really the same locations and themes that we saw throughout Game of Thrones?
Right.
And when we saw Night of the Seven Kingdoms, it was a brand new look at something that, familiar house names and things like that, but it was truly refreshing to watch, and I think it caught people by surprise in how much that they can re-engage with something and look at it in a new way with the relationship between Duck and Egg. So that's kind of my thoughts. I loved, and of course the trial by combat was amazing, but I think beyond that, the reason people connected with it so much was because of that connection between Dunk and Egg and how the rest of the world kind of falls in around that.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. I totally agree. I think Dunk and Egg, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, whatever you want to call it, every reveal in it felt like having Baelor take Dunk's side while the Thrones music is playing was just such an amazing decision. Like they really, and Ira Parker clearly, even in the scenes where they went beyond the story because they had to, he took such care to respect the world, which I want to say something too when we get to House of the Dragon. I think Condal genuinely is a big fan of this world. And I don't think his mistakes, like in his stretching of the lore, comes from a place of disrespect at all. I think we can argue about his success with it. But Night of the Seven Kingdoms, absolutely. And for our purposes as a podcast, I remember being like, covering this going to be weird? Are these going to be like 20-minute episodes? Are we going to, and then we're having like debates about it, the same exact types of conversations. It really surprised me. I didn't know how I'd feel about it. My parents are big watchers of this world, and they were like, yeah, we'll check it out. And they adored it. It was must-see TV. So much needed change of pace. And it is very different because we're getting Aegon's Conquest in movie form. And let me tell you, that's going to be very different. That'll be boom, 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 boom. So you need a show like, I think, Dunk and Egg. And the fact that George was able to create that and then Ira bring it to life was awesome.
Ira was truly glued to the books. I mean, it was an adaptation that was almost just like the pages leapt out onto the screen. So
Yeah.
it was fantastic. Now, if we fast forward to House of the Dragon, I think we were just talking about this before we started this episode here, but viewing it from the lens of I haven't read the books, right? I almost wish Fire and Blood wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
If we're just viewing it from that lens, right? If you're just watching the television, it was very engaging. You were wondering what's going to happen next. You were, from high stakes scene to high stakes scene. And of course, there were some bridge episodes, right? That happens in every season of every television show. But I think the payoffs in the beginning and at the end were amazing. What we saw was, if you want to call it predictable, fine, but we saw what was a favorite character of many, many people who watch this world of shows become kind of a mad queen type figure. And she did so gradually throughout the season by making small mistakes versus what we saw in Game of Thrones with Daenerys.
My sweet queen.
So narratives that make sense coherently throughout a whole season is something that's huge, which we didn't really see in season 2. So that was refreshing. The battle scenes were fantastic. The choreography, everything. The characters. I mean, Daemon was fully back this season. That was amazing to see.
Yeah.
So much good stuff. And I think the negativity comes from what could have been from the people who read Fire and Blood.
Very fair.
And so, I'm going to leave that out for now. My overall synopsis was it was a fantastic show. It was so great seeing the entire internet coming together on Sunday nights and Monday mornings. And it was just, it was fantastic. And for what it was as a TV show, I think it was a great series.
I agree. And I loved this season. It's nice to have that must-see TV. You look at HBO's numbers, and regardless of what you think of Condal, HBO has no reason to question them, especially because House of the Dragon historically for them is one of their most illegally streamed shows. So the fact that it's coming in at 33 million on the books means that how many people were actually watching it? You know what I mean? More by like 10 million? It's crazy. And yeah, I have a lot of beef with the book changes. There's been sort of a course correction on the Reddits and the Twitters. If you follow Deep Thrones Pod, I got a finger on the pulse of those to keep an eye on what the folks are saying. And there's actually a fair amount of book people now that are sort of rocking back on the anti-book people to be like, your interpretation of this novel is crazy. Shows us almost like you haven't read it. There's there's a section of
it's not a novel.
100%. They're like, you are acting like there are large parts of the Dance of Dragons in George's Fire and Blood where Daemon, Aemond, Rhaenyra are not doing anything. They're gone. There's nothing to do with them. You know what I mean? And again, I love George, and I think he gets a lot of unfair flack because of Winds of Winter, and a lot of people will say, well, then keep your mouth shut about release dates. That's fair. But I think a lot of it is unfair. He's built this beautiful world, but it's a Spark Notebook.
Yeah.
And Ryan Condal's filling, and he's doing this interview circuit where he's dunking on Condal about, I want writers who don't come up with their own story. Well, the truth is that he does have to answer to HBO's overlords. And HBO is owned by Warner Brothers. And Warner Brothers is going through a very public sale right now. And they're seeing a guy who just put 33 million butts in the seat per episode. So, yes, at the end of the day, we can all be mad about it, but it's a business. And the truth is that if Aegon's conquest veers away from the story in any way, people are going to be livid. But it will probably make them a boatload of money. And I saw 2 tweets back to back. One said, Aegon's Conquest as a movie does not work because there's way too much to cover. And the next tweet said, there's just not enough to make Aegon's Conquest a movie.
I mean, but those are the polar opposites that I mean, with Fire and Blood, right? And it is crazy to me that George R. R. Martin, this lyrical genius, is publicly beefing with someone who's like making him millions of dollars so that he can afford not to write his final book, right?
Yes.
But B, like you intentionally wrote it like that. I remember the ads for Fire and Blood were like, oh, check out this untold story of Targaryen history and blah, blah, blah. And none of it mentioned that it was like incomplete or told from, 50 years after the fact.
50 years after the fact. Like telephone.
And it's not even a singular narrative. It's from 3 different sources.
And Fire and Blood is not about the Dance of Dragons. The Dance of Dragons is covered in Fire and Blood. Fire and Blood is about every single Targaryen king and queen and leader and Targaryen event. So it's like you're learning about the Doom of Valyria for 10 pages. The Dance of Dragons is like, I don't know, like a couple pages. And then you're on to the next one and the next one. It's just, it keeps moving as like a history book. And it's like, well, I heard this might have happened. And Harrenhal has become a bottomless pit. If the character goes to Harrenhal, congratulations, you might as well not be on the show. But it's because they're not in the books. And Condell is trying to adapt it, and Tumbleton, I felt, for what he had to do, he nailed it.
Agreed. Now, just for shits and gigs,
why is Daron daring?
I was going to say, fair. let's kind of play the other side of the hand, right? Because all of it's fair.
The thing is that for 8 episodes, we dunk on Condell. And then here in the Thronies, we're kind of like defending him, but it's more just about
I'm not defending
Condell. The universe. No.
I'm defending. I don't like the fact that we can't sit and watch something on TV. And I've read all the books, and I freaking love them. That's why we started this podcast.
Yeah, it was the books that drove it. Yeah.
But like, I can sit here and enjoy what I'm watching, and not in the back of my mind be like, oh, but this is like how it was in the books. So like, I'm gonna hate this.
Imagine if you did that with every single movie you watched.
Oh, you'd be a I'd stop watching movies.
Every single movie, you're like, and I joked about it when Sheedy complains about complainers. It's The Dark Knight Rises is a mess. Or if you're like, why is she doing that now to the pizza boy? Or why is that pool boy now doing that to that stepmom? Mm-hmm. Or like, why is that stepmom stuck in that dryer? She can easily just get out of that dryer. Like, if you start dissecting every movie, then guess what? You're no longer enjoying the film. And all art under a microscope can look pretty ugly, all right? The Mona Lisa, she's mid as fuck. And everyone goes and sees her.
Well, she's stunning and brave, John.
I don't know, man. she's a Cleveland 6.
Okay, Sheedy complaining about the actual show though. Where did they miss? Let's be and we can do chronological too. Let's start with the Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Well, me and Kinzie agreed on this, and we got some heat. I think that the Trial of Seven should have been more battle. I think we should have seen it. But the thing is that that's like a 50-50 split. So that's not like a agreed upon opinion. So that let's take that away, because that's not really like
no, that's fair. That's part of your fair. Sure. That's a criticism.
I wish the battle was longer. I think it would have been cooler if they turned that episode into like a 25-minute sword fight, and that's a lot. It's a lot of choreography, so I get it. Where else did it miss? I think some of the stuff early, some of the potty humor early, him shitting, I think immediately genuinely turned off a lot of people.
Yeah.
And George I agree with George. I think that was unnecessary.
For me, it was nitpicky. I'll give you that. But Arion Bright Flame, there's nothing bright about his flame.
You hated that. You wanted long hair Arion.
I wanted long hair, and I wanted them in like bright reds, oranges, yellows.
Yeah.
And just like almost more, and maybe I understand they wanted to differentiate from him and Joffrey, but he was a full-blown shithead.
Yeah.
Like in this show, he was almost toned down a little bit. Like he was aggressive, but he was not like, oh my God, I freaking hate this. Like, this guy doesn't deserve to live. Like, you over seasons with Joffrey, like you got to like,
right.
Oh, he makes my skin crawl. So I would have loved that a little bit more. And then
I also agreed with you live in real time, where like Lionel's reaction after Baelor's death was a little out of left field.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if Lionel, well, I guess I don't really know the books as well as you do, so maybe that is Lionel's character. Baelor, for my money too, the actor's performance was amazing.
Baelor crushed it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And we'll get into that in the awards, but I'm glad you brought up Lionel. I was going to mention that. I wasn't a fan of his portrayal in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I liked the, dancing and the boisterousness and things like that, but versus the books, I mean, he was him standing up on the side of Dunk was a little bit more heroic in the books because they hadn't had that friendship that they formed.
Oh yeah.
So him standing up kind of calls into question Dunk's monologue about are there no true knights left in the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Granted, there's a
feel
little bit of him wanting to stand up and get his own glory, him being Lionel Baratheon, but so nitpicky, but
Fair criticisms. Fair criticisms.
all right, not nitpicky. House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon. Let's get into it. Aemond, with the mommy issues, I think it turned a lot of people off. It's please do not take this out of context. It didn't bother me as much as it bothered other people.
We gotta clip that. That. That's gonna go.
Saying because
that's gonna go.
They're
platinum.
Targaryens. All these people are incestuous. Daemon is Rhaenyra's uncle. He literally, Daemon, when he was at Harrenhal, remember, he was like going down on his mom.
In a dream.
Well, so was Aemond.
Yeah.
Oh, he did kiss her.
He kissed her.
He kissed her on the lips a little too long.
He kissed her.
Too long.
What do you mean too long?
He kissed her too long. Quite simply.
What,
well,
if
if
you
he did like a
smooching
little,
your mom on the lips?
No, but if he did like a little, like if he did it European, he did like cheek to cheek.
Well, those are cheeks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I didn't hate it as much. I'm just saying that like it wasn't like it didn't take me out of the episode, right? Things that took me out of the episode.
I'm gonna take some notes here, actually.
But so we got Aemond with that stuff.
Why don't you take a seat right over there?
I think we got what was the other thing I was going to say? Now I'm all mixed up.
Now you're thinking
about Aemond and Alicent. Honestly, it's just an Alicent thing. I think he's got an Alicent. I think a lot of people have an Alicent thing. I think the Mysaria being completely useless, like she should have had some spy network. It's kind of insane. She had absolutely nothing, like nothing in the works. I think that mid-season, it just sometimes Condal gets kind of in his bag of like scene to scene to scene to scene to scene to scene, and it's sort of like everyone moves 10 feet.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest issues. That Mysaria's accent.
I 100% agree on Alicent, Mysaria fumbling the bag on those storylines. Same thing with Rhaenyra's positioning, and not so much fumbling the bag in general with her storyline, but I feel like she could have been a lot more strong and independent and just, making her own decisions as opposed to being a victim of her small council and all the bad decisions that she got around her.
100%.
But for me, the biggest miss of House of the Dragon Season 3 was the Riverlands. And there were so many dynamic characters. Red Rob Rivers, Black Alley, Oscar Tully combining... Like, the fact that they even combined Oscar with Kermit and Elmo Tully, I was turned off by.
These fucking Sesame Street River Lords.
I mean, you left out my favorite character. The whole thing was freaking Bloody Ben Blackwood.
Yeah, Benjicott Blackwood. Yeah.
Benjicott Blackwood, freaking dog, and he wasn't even covered at all. He's not even a character.
There's gonna be no lads or like Moon of the Three.
No, there's no. Oscar Tully is the lads combined into one character, so it kind of sucks. From that standpoint. So, for me, that was the biggest fumble because, and I hate to say I understand because at the end of the day, budget is like, that's something that you set with expectations of, okay, this is like, we spend this much so we can make this much money. But if you spend a little bit more and you tell the story a little bit longer, you do 10 episode seasons instead of 8 episode seasons, well, all of a sudden you're probably going to make more money, right? Or people are going to talk about it more, right? Like, I feel like it was miscalculated for me because those are real stories that you could tell and really fill in some of the gaps that we were missing. In season 2, the Harrenhal story would have been a lot more engaging if you were following those characters in the Riverlands. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's also like immediately then don't brag about the view count after the fact, after you've cut it down 2 episodes because it's so expensive. Like House of the Dragon, and someone said this online, they're like, House of the Dragon and Night of the Seven Kingdoms was HBO's like 2 most viewed shows this year. They're like, this is your flagship.
Yeah.
Push it. The fact, it's so funny, like this IP kills it. It absolutely kills it, and 100% like I don't know. I don't know how you do it with 8 episodes. It's tough. Condal, I don't envy his position because he's kind of been screwed by HBO in that respect. Because first off, he cut out the honey wine, which is a battle that gets Daron the Daring nickname. Orman just kind of calls him it when he knights him. He cut out, all that character development of like, people are like, who's this Archer girl that killed Kristen? Oh, that's Black Alley Blackwood. Like without our fucking podcast, we do a service to this world. Like I don't know if anyone even knew Roddy. Did anyone ever say Roddy the Ruin in the entire show?
No.
Anyone even say the words Roddy the Ruin?
No.
Black Alley Blackwood, Oscar, you kind of know his name, like Tessarion.
I mean,
Darren,
Jane Aaron, was it even covered in the show that Rhaenyra was related to the Aarons?
In season 1, it's like known that like her mom is an Aaron.
Okay.
But it's like barely. But like
books,
she's only in 1 episode.
In the books, it was so important that like the Aarons were literally quartered in her sigil.
Exactly. So there's no way that a casual viewer would know it. No. We know that she's related, or that like Rhaenys is related to House Baratheon.
Yeah.
And therefore could have had dark hair.
Yep.
Because the dark hair, the black of hair is like pretty dominant in House Baratheon. As it is in the North, which is why Jon Snow has dark hair.
Well.
All right.
I think we covered. We probably should have started with the bad stuff first, and then went into the good stuff, and then went into the awards. But
good stuff, boom.
Good stuff.
Emma Darcy, amazing. Steve Toussaint, amazing. Lagon, can we talk about Lagon?
Dude,
and then Taegon, which is Tyland.
Lagon. I was gonna say Laganister.
Laganister. We love Laganister. Tyland Lannister. I think the show like making him an OG is great because in the books he is an OG, but they didn't give him the book OG style because they don't want Rhaenyra to look so mean. Rhaenyra's version of looking mean is like, you have to eat, Helena. You just have to.
And well, I guess since we're through the season, we can. It's not a spoiler anymore. In the books, he was locked up and tortured in the black cells.
They rip his eyeballs out
throughout the entire
They're
Dance
like,
of Dragons.
where is the gold? And he doesn't budge, and because they want to know where all the gold is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Rhaenyra outside giving speeches in Valyrian, which no one speaks the language. And they're all like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh, also, now that we've made it through the season 2, as a book reader, I've got to give a little, I hate being a corrector here, but like, it's Valerian is the house, and then it's Valyrian is the language. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I just say Valyrian for both.
I know.
It's just I'm Chicagoan, man.
Well, it's confusing for people who haven't read the words because then they might be like, oh, there's...
High Valyrian.
High Valyrian, yeah.
And that's like Valarian, something like that. Valry. Yeah.
I-A-N.
Yeah. And then Valerian is like Vela.
Yep.
See, guys, this is an education for you. But yeah, no, High Valerian and then the Valerian.
No. High Valyrian. High Valyrian.
High Valerian.
And House Valerian.
House Valerian.
Valerian.
House Valerian.
I guess, yeah, you can say if that makes you feel better, yeah, we can.
Well, it's like Daron. I don't like that they say Darren in the show. It should be Daron.
Let's separate it that way. Yeah, Valerian, if we want to do that.
I'll just say Corliss's friends.
Corliss and the squad.
Corliss and the gang. All right, here we are. The Thronies.
The Thronies.
People forget this is an award show. You guys have been voting all week, and we'll overrule the ones that we don't like. But we have categories. Do you want to switch up? Should I MC?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I should have introduced Sheedy as the beginning. So we have our wonderful MC here, John Sheedy. He's crushing it. He's already. I mean, the mom joke was fantastic earlier. So let's see what else he's got in his arsenal.
Oh well. First off, thank you guys so much for coming to the second ever Thronies. This is a yearly tradition, except last year because there was no show. But any year that there is a show, we will do the Thronies.
Woo!
And the big award of the night, of course, will be the best fan of the year. This year we might have multiple, and they will win a hat, a Deep Thrones hat. So we're very excited about that. But there are many awards to give out tonight.
And that is a luxury premium Deep Thrones hat.
It's a trucker hat. It's a snapback.
Okay, luxury and premium.
The official Deep Thrones logo that was designed by our very own Chris Sims himself. It is actually a really good hat. The quality is... This is mine personally. It's got a little bit of a smear on it.
It's priceless.
It's priceless. You can't put a price on winning a
on
hat.
Sheedy's smear.
This is a one-of-a-kind schmear. You won't win this hat specifically. You'll get one of the ones that that's in the casing still. Yeah, don't be spitting up right now.
Man, let me refresh before we start.
Yeah, it's fine. He's got another beer. See, we're having fun. It's the Thronies. This is the biggest night in Hollywood. We got Emma to RC. Potentially, if you hang around till the end, Emma to RC might call in. Most likely will not, but maybe. Because just for legal purposes, I have to say that there's a good chance that they do not call in. And nor do they have our number or know who we are. But you never know. Hang around till the end.
Well, for legal purposes, you didn't have to say the last part for legal purposes.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But for legal purposes, it's not going to happen. Should we get into the first award?
Let's do it.
First award of the night is Server of Most Face. Our 4 nominees are Rhaenyra Targaryen, Jane Eyre, Egg, and Maekar Targaryen.
That is a star-studded. That's tough because we have so many different scenes that we're evaluating here. So Maekar was very much of a what the fuck's going on here sort of serving face.
But he had a great face.
He had a strong jawline.
Strong jawline, very stern. The classic Targaryen white.
Yeah. Egg, I think he might be the weakest out of these nominees, but he had a face that did indeed serve. Jane Eyre.
Dude. She had my vote.
Strong candidate. Also had my vote. Just, the neck elevation for the face serving was just really what really put her up there, I think.
Yeah. If it was server of most neck, hands down,
100%.
would have been her. But you're right. It's almost like one of those like sticks you get for your phone when you're taking selfies. That's like what her neck is like. It puts her out there.
It serves the face.
She's Caraxes in human form.
It serves the face.
Neck literally serves the face.
And Rhaenyra just, she's strong face of serving.
Oh,
her son, God. She even passed it down to her son, Jace, who also is an honorable mention here.
Well, he won this last year.
Yeah.
He did win this last year. I just didn't think it appropriate to even nominate him due to his quick, untimely demise.
Okay, well, the fact that a Green supporter is putting these together is like pretty rude, but...
You had access to the Excel.
All right, and with that...
The winner of Server of Most Face is Rhaenyra Targaryen, winning the award that her son won last time. Emma as Rhaenyra, amazing. They are beautiful face. Interesting scene when they served a lot of face was when they were talking directly to my Syria's kind of vagina scenario.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I'm going to have to rewatch that. Maybe.
Yeah, well, just for research purposes.
Just for the sake for the podcast, for the listeners.
We have to make sure that the face was served properly to qualify in the right way.
Not long enough of a scene. Condell has to work better on his pacing. That scene could have been 5-10 minutes longer.
that scene should have taken place at Harrenhal, honestly.
Oh my God, can you imagine, dude? Allison, probably the Rhaenyra's mom would have been there. Most slippery. This was a great category. This one was a highly contested one. And again, from each category, there are 2 from House of the Dragon, 2 from United of the Seven Kingdoms. The nominees for most slippery. Ormond Hightower.
Wait, actually, before we get into these, should we maybe just give a brief explanation for what each category means?
Yeah.
So
this stays in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for most slippery, this is, you think just think of Littlefinger and how he was just involved with everything. Varys. These guys were the slipperiest of slip.
100%. There is specifically a scene that I think of when I think of most slippery, and it is when Sansa is forced to watch Joffrey get re-proposed to Marjorie, and Maester Pycelle is like, Sansa has traitor's blood, so you no longer have to be betrothed to her, and then the whole realm celebrates because Joffrey now gets to marry Marjorie. Sansa pretends to be sad, but turns around and she's really happy because she no longer has to marry Joffrey. And Baelish just slides in front of her and he's like, you're still his little plaything. You're not going to be able to leave King's Landing. And it's just like he literally slides.
That's the definition of this category.
Very slippery. And the nominees are Ormond Hightower, Mysaria the White Worm, Stefan Fossaway, and Egg. I think Mysaria was kind of a we want to get in there. She's not very slippery.
She was the opposite of slippery. She didn't slip anywhere.
Egg very
except I guess maybe in Rhaenyra's chambers.
Good point.
Egg was slippery to one person, but then once his cover was blown pretty quickly, and then Stefan Fossaway was slippery in a bad way. You don't want to be you don't want to be,
Oh.
jumping sides and screwing over someone. So that was a little bad. Ormond, though,
He was very slippery.
very slippery. Had a whole spy network of slips.
Yeah, he had a lot going on. He printed that Daron coin that unfortunately went tets up, dude. No one's selling. Honestly, sell your Daron coin while you can. Get out of there.
No, you hold.
You hold, I guess, until hopefully it booms. You never know. He's going into season 4. We don't know if he's alive or dead. I guess Gwen couldn't find him. Chris, do you want to read the winner on this one, or you want me to?
I'll read the winner on this
What
one.
do we got? Open the envelope.
So, for the winner of Most Slippery for the 2026 Thronies Awards, Ormond Hightower.
He deserved it. He will go down. I don't think many people will keep him in the pantheon of one season characters. For me, he is. He's not Oberyn, He's not Robert Baratheon, Is he going to be Baelor? No, but he's in the pantheon. I think he did a great job as a one season. He was kind of the driving force of this season.
He was. I wish we had more time with him, honestly, but he served his time and he served it well. Very slippery.
Very slippery. And we love you, Ormond. Thank you for bringing the greens back up. Most useless. This is kind of self-explanatory, Chris. They're useless. They had a bad season. They didn't do much. They were kind of just there.
Yeah, I don't need to explain any more than that.
Yeah, totally agree. The nominees for most useless are Myceria, Alicent Hightower, Humphrey Beesbury, Humphrey Harding.
For this one, the Academy really. I'm going to be completely honest here. Putting Humphrey Harding and Humphrey Beesbury on here is very disrespectful. They went out there and they stood up for Dunk when he had no one to stand up for him.
I know.
So
they died in the first charge.
Yeah, but listen, okay, Academy.
You had access to the Excel.
They showed up. Alicent, wow, what a strong candidate Alicent is. She
kind of poisoned Daemon.
She was trying to do everything, but really accomplished nothing.
But then that's a great question. Is that useless? Someone who tries really hard but fails?
Well, but if you look at Myceria, she didn't even really try.
That's true. She did genuinely nothing.
She genuinely failed.
Yeah.
Well, did she even have a mission? I don't know.
She hooked up with Rhaenyra.
Okay. Well,
but we don't know because the scene wasn't long. They kissed and then it ended, so I guess we don't know what happened. And then she got fired.
Your writer's notes to Condell is just all about that scene.
Like, hey, a couple of notes for you. All these people are ragging on you. I think you did fine. One thing. This scene could be a good 20 minutes just so we could see what goes on.
All right, MC. Who's our winner here?
Our most useless is Myceria. She won it in a landslide.
You talk about undeserved nicknames. Darren the Daring's one thing, but the White Worm, what has she done to give herself a nickname? She should just be Myceria.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means though. The White Worm.
Well, it was because she was supposed to be slithering everywhere.
She's got her tendrils.
She was slippery. She was slippery in the books.
Wow,
she was not slippery in this.
No, she's just useless. Next category, ladies and gentlemen, biggest tool. This is how we use the phrase "tool." Like that guy's a tool, not like an actual physical, like a hammer, but this guy sucks. Specifically, here we go. Here are the nominees: Aerion Targaryen, Stefan Fossaway, 2 really big tools, Kristen Cole, and Ormond Hightower. You couldn't go. Your vote isn't wasted here.
Legit. I feel like this might have been one of our closest polls. This one, yeah, they're all winners in my book. Stefan, we already talked about. Ormond, we already talked about. Aerion, the guy broke a poor girl's finger because she was doing a very popular play that a dragon happened to be killed in. So very, very tool-like. But who's our winner here?
Our winner is, and he was the internet's biggest tool for his entire time on this show, and it's kind of fitting that he gets this award posthumously as he goes out. Kristen Cole.
All right, Pizzy.
I do think in a lighter year, Aerion takes this award. I think in a solo year, he gets this award.
Yes, but the minute that Kristen Cole gave that monologue about him being the best fighter in the realm and how he needed to die gloriously, everyone, I feel like the whole world collectively rolled their eyes at that point.
Specifically toolish to do that.
Yes.
To give a big speech and then die the next episode. Goodest boy. So this is pretty self-explanatory. It's the best boy. He's just a good guy. You know, he's a good boy.
He's a good boy. He's a loyal boy.
He's a loyal boy. And I'm shocked. Honestly, I'm shocked Eamon wasn't in this category. Here are the nominees for Goodest Boy. Aegon Targaryen, egg version from A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Daeron Targaryen. Gwaine Hightower. And Raymond Fossaway. And I would agree with this category. No vote wasted.
Let me tell you something here. This to me might be the strongest, collection of good boys that I've ever seen.
This is a tough category.
I mean, Raymond Fossaway, he had no reason at all to be loyal to Dunk.
He said, "Knight me."
Literally. Trying to jump into the fight against his freaking cousin. Like, what a dog. Gawain Hightower, the dude started off this series like, oh, just another Hightower, hate him. And then by the end of this season, he was one of everyone's favorites. He was really the only redeemable Hightower character. So Gawain,
he was serving.
Great boy. He was serving.
Gawain was serving. Daeron was serving. Raymond, just like loyalty. Just they were serving a certain level of character.
High character individuals.
Egg is kind of a psychopath, but he still is a good boy.
Well, that's a Targaryen, that's a Targaryen quality.
He's like a sociopathic liar, but I think he's a good boy. And who do you want to read the winner of Goodest Boy?
I'll read the winner of this one. For the Goodest Boy 2026 Thronies, we have Egg Targaryen.
He deserved it.
Dexter
Soul Ansel, amazing performances. Egg, but I think he kind of ran away with it if I recall the voting, but your vote was not wasted in that category. All four of them deserved.
I mean, the voters need to wisen up a little bit. I mean, come on.
Who would you have voted for? Genuinely.
I think I did vote for Raymond Fossaway.
Gotcha. Well, I can't remember everybody's vote. Best gaslighter. Best gaslighter. You guys know what gaslighting is. It's not good. You shouldn't do it. Here are the nominees, though, for best gaslighting. The person who kind of lies a lot, Ormond Hightower. His victim was Daeron for the most part. Alicent Hightower. Helena, Aemond, maybe Rhaenyra a little bit. Aerion Targaryen. His dad, everyone trying to convince them that Dunk did something he didn't. Egg Targaryen. He got a little bit of a liar, a little bit of a gaslighter.
A little bit. Ormond was strong for me here. Aerion, I didn't really connect the dots until you just said him lying to his dad and convincing everyone that Dunk did that. So great call throwing him in here. The Academy did well. Why don't you read out our winner, because I feel like that this one's pretty.
The winner of Best Gaslighter is Alicent Hightower.
Alicent Hightower.
She can gaslight me any day.
For someone whose core identity is being a mother in the show, she is pretty bad at that.
She's not a good one.
She's not.
I shared that meme earlier where it's like the one kid she wanted to keep alive, Helena, dies, and the two kids she wanted dead are alive and well. Most needy. Now we know what we talked about this last episode about the needy. It's like the search for validation, whatever that means to you, right? And there's 4 characters in the most needy that I think fit a certain level of needing of validation to varying degrees. And heroes can be needy. Our nominees are Sir Duncan the Tall, Aerion Targaryen, Rhaenyra Targaryen, Aemond Targaryen.
Aemond, super needy. I mean, that is a strong candidate. The mommy issues left and right.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra, her storyline kind of speaks for itself, and which is disappointing. I mean, we've talked about this ad nauseum. Aerion, the fact that he thinks that he's a dragon reborn and gets offended by a puppet show is fairly needy.
Yep.
And Dunk, the guy is
seeking a certain level of validation from knighthood.
He was seeking some validation, and when we had the flashback to him being a kid, he was definitely seeking like a fatherly validation throughout those scenes. So
100%.
I'll go ahead and read this one off.
Do it. I think you should.
Okay, well, that's a little rude. For the most needy 2026 Deep Thrones Throny goes to my queen, Rhaenyra Targaryen. You did it. You won most needy. You deserve this one. Literally getting on your knees and speaking to your mistress of whispers vagina, saying, "Am I good
Am
enough?
I worthy? Yeah.
Am I worthy?" That's pretty. That's the definition of this category.
Yeah. That being said, been there. That being said, it's also the most relatable thing she's ever done. Best parent, and these are some strong ones. And the best parent, worst parent category. Should we just? I purposely made these the same. So should I just introduce them together?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Here are the nominees for best parent and worst parent, and all the parents are the same for both categories because I think that there is some symmetry there. It would have been funny if someone won each, but they didn't. They were won by opposite different people. The best parent, worst parent nominees are Maekar Targaryen, Baelor Targaryen, Rhaenyra Targaryen, and Alicent Hightower.
This was a strong. First of all, I love how you laid this out, but the fact that Maekar and Baelor are both on there from United of the Seven Kingdoms in itself is very divisive and quite spicy. So I love that the Academy put that in.
And I don't think Maekar is like a terrible parent, even though Aerion sucks.
I think Maekar is a great parent for the cards that he's been dealt.
He has Targaryen sons, and the odds that one of them's a psycho.
100%. Baelor, he's a very honorable man, and he showed up when the moments mattered. Excuse me. Rhaenyra, Alicent, look, Rhaenyra, half your kids are dead, so...
Yeah, due to the war, though. And I think she loves them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, she loves them a little too much, except Joffrey.
Joffrey's a little weird. Joffrey got promoted, and he's not really ready for that He was not ready for that
Joffrey got important at work, and it's ruining his life.
He was looking around in that little crown like, oh, my fucking God.
Also, Rhaenyra just, doesn't give a fuck about two of her kids that are just gone. Viserys and Aegon, right?
Oh, yeah, Viserys and Aegon are off in Pentos doing God knows what.
Yeah. Alicent at least mentions her kids pretty often, so I think that kind of gives her a little leg up there.
Right, she tried to poison Aemond.
Well...
That's tough. That's tough to come back from.
That's just business.
Do you want to read one, or do you want me to read them?
I'll read one, you read the other.
You read Best Parent.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. For Best Parent, Deep Throning of the Year goes to Baelor Targaryen.
I'm happy he won an award because he deserved one.
He deserved one. Although Parent's interesting because
we don't know much about him.
He's not like Dunk's dad or
Valar's
dad.
We know
Valar's dead, yeah.
And the way Valar spoke of him
That's
to
true.
Dunk, you can tell he was a good young man.
That's true.
And you can also tell, Dunk during his speech to all the knights before he says, are there no true knights among you? He's like, your sons will follow your example, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Worst Parent.
Man, this is her second award of the night. She's racking them in. You might recall earlier she won Best Gaslighter. Let's hear it for Alicent Hightower. It's sort of fitting that she won Best Gaslighter and Worst Parent. There's sort of some symmetry there.
That honestly, if you're a great gaslighter, you're probably a bad parent.
Yeah. Also, if you poison your kids, she did that.
Again, well, Aemon's pretty bad.
In a weird way, is she a hero? But still a bad parent.
Yes.
But a great, and I'm gaslighting now on her behalf. So you see, just by association. This is a great award, and this honestly, this could have been a category with 16 people in it. But we're doing most unhinged, and of course, unhinged, someone who's just not wired correctly.
Most unhinged, not wired correctly. We have some strong candidates here. Why don't we read them off?
The nominees are for the most unhinged Throny: Aerion Targaryen, Steffan Fossaway, Ormond Hightower, or Aemon Targaryen. I think Steffan's the weakest.
Okay, I despise Steffan Fossaway, and sure. I think he got off light in these Thronies, maybe because a lot of people didn't remember how. Yeah, your gut sank the moment that he was getting, all dressed for the trial by 7, and then he goes, "Oh no, I'm fighting for these guys."
Yeah,
which left Dunk down by 2 nights. So,
but he's in a category with some really unhinged. It's not that he doesn't deserve props. It's just he's against some juggernaut. It's the 27 Yankees.
That's a good,
2 Targaryens with parent issues.
That's a good point.
And Ormond.
That's a good point. Well, we've talked about the other nominees, so I'll let you lead off this one.
The winner of Most Hinged is Aeron Targaryen.
Aeron Targaryen, very great. Listen, he deserved this. Unhinged is. I watched a puppet show that's been played in Westeros for hundreds of years, and I get upset because I think I'm a reborn dragon.
I'm going to break this lady's finger.
I'm going to break this lady's finger.
And accuse her of treason.
And then make up a story that, like, none of it happened and it was all Dunk's fault and he should die.
Yeah. Just because you're embarrassed, and also your dad is like, why don't you just 1v1 him, and you're too scared. Yeah. So that's too bad.
That's pretty unhinged.
This one's a tough one. Could go anyway. Most likely to have mommy issues. Do we need to explain this one?
I don't know. I mean, you tell me. You had the mom conversation earlier today.
All I said was that the Aemon scenes were not as they weren't as bad as people thought. Not because I'm like, oh, I just mean like he's a Targaryen. Daemon had him too. It's just like, yes, it's unsettling. It does not need to be in the show. But at the same time, like, of all the things these shows do, it's like the nominees are Sir Duncan the Tall, Egg Targaryen, Aemond Targaryen, Rhaenyra Targaryen. Could go either way.
You again, no vote wasted here. I think we're gonna see a little theme here with the Hightower family and the Greens here. So I'll read this one off. Most likely to have mommy issues. Throny Award goes to Aemond Targaryen.
He won it in a landslide, as he should have. He clearly has something right with how he views Alicent.
At the brothel with Alicent, with Alice Rivers, as soon as he found out Alice was 100 years old.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, I got some hard candy. He was just trying to turn around with like Werther's Originals. He's like,
and some ginger ale.
Yeah. He's like, you got some tissues in your sleeve? It's like a very old lady thing to do.
Some Depends.
Oh my god. Yeah, it just fits right in.
This podcast brought to you by Depends.
Depends. Honestly, yeah, for Aemond, his big turn on. But I think, obviously, the runaway favorite for that. I love these next two categories. And much like Best and Worst Parent, it's a Best and a Worst, same exact four. Can I read them? You do the winners. I'll read the nominees and the categories.
Okay.
These are Best Egg and Worst Egg.
And why don't we explain what we mean by Best Egg and Worst Egg?
I mean, like eggs. Like, so there's egg. There's so there. It's funny because the category is a little creative. There's eggs, right? There's Egg, Aegon, and Jon Snow, who is Aegon Targaryen technically, and also Alice Rivers' random dragon egg. Those are the nominees. Egg, Aegon, Jon Snow, who's also an Aegon because he was Rhaegar's bastard son, and the random dragon egg that Alice.
So we're talking about eggs. Like we're not talking about games. We're talking about eggs.
We're talking about eggs. All right.
Love it.
Not the game. Just eggs.
Just eggs.
Who's the best egg?
So you read the nominees? Or do you try to read? Yeah.
Egg, Aegon, Jon Snow, and random dragon egg Alice has.
For the 2026 Throny Award for Best Egg goes to the Egg, Aegon Targaryen. Well, I guess I should probably egg.
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
The little bald egg.
Wow, when you add that many eggs, it's hard.
It's great,
to
isn't it? It's really good. I knew going in. I was like, which Aegon am I talking about? Because all these goddamn Aegons.
That's why you wanted me to read who the winner is?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. Yeah, I fell straight into that trap. Okay, Worst Egg. For the winner of Worst Egg, 2026 Throny Award goes to the random egg that Alice Rivers has.
Yeah, it doesn't compare to the real Aegons,
It's not real, yeah.
You voted for Jon Snow.
I did.
I remember that vote. Because you know what? I agree with that. You know why? I think the showrunners did not ask George what Jon's name would be because Rhaegar with Elia Martell has a son named Aegon. So in Rhaegar's mind, if he wins this war and him and Elia have their kids and he has his kids with Lyanna, he's like, here are my children. This is Aegon and Aegon? Pretty weird, right? Jon Snow's name in the books, I bet something different, unless Rhaegar was completely like, new life kind of thing.
Maybe there was like a raven sent once, like the other Aegon got his head smashed.
And he said because he was coming south. Still.
Yeah,
possible.
I don't know.
Rhaegar died at the Trident at that point.
Well, I mean, like maybe the
it.
Kingsguard was like, we have to carry on the
egg
Targaryen blood.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
a lot of
making
eggs.
Up shit here.
So many eggs, dude. Yeah. Now we're getting into really these are the big categories. This is like when you get through the Oscars doldrums, and here's the action. Most memeable scene. There were a lot of memeable scenes. You know what we mean by this. Scenes that capture the imagination of the internet, right? Mm-hmm. Baelor takes Dunk's side.
I will take Sir Duncan's side.
Amazing. Sir Pennytree saying, "Get up," when Duncan was sort of knocked out, right? The famous Alicent Hightower, who is that turnaround when Rhaenyra is like, "Where is my gold?"
That one's a personal favorite. I still have that I have that bookmarked on many social media sites.
That was a good one. That was a good one for sure. I do, and then finally the Rhaenyra Targaryen hands on the table in episode 1 when she's saying, "We'll take King's Landing." That became like me when I pitch more beers with the boys, kind of,
Me when I'm getting Domino's late night pizza.
Yeah, the hands on the table. But the one that won was a write-in, and it came in late. We got a lot of people saying this deserves it, and we agreed. The committee doesn't always get it right. Two other people the Academy doesn't always get it right. Two other people had access to the Excel. And the winner of most memeable scene, and I'll say it because he is my king and the one true king, Aegon Fallen's Angel's very own Aegon Targaryen singing, "I'm alive, imbecile."
Oh man, I won't even try to imitate that one. He delivered that line so well, so clean that it was just iconic.
He posted on his Instagram, his actual Instagram, his story. It was him doing a peace sign that said, "Thanks to all the people yelling at me, I'm alive in the streets. It's been a joy." Which is awesome. Keep doing it. Keep screaming at him. Deep Throne's best segment. We had the segments that we do on our podcast. 4 nominated. You Blew It, Best Line Yas Queen, Mount Rushmore, and Trial by Combat. Chris, as the pod founder, who won?
Was this written like this to confuse me, or was this actually how this...
3-way tie.
Okay, 3-way tie. Great. I knew that. Let's edit that out.
Nope.
So for your winners of the Deep Thrones Throny 2026 Deep Thrones Best Segment goes to You Blew It, Mount Rushmore, and Trial by Combat, a 3-way tie. I think the first in Throny history.
And the crazy thing too is that we got a really good amount of votes, which we're very grateful for. And the Best Line Yas Queen lost by 1 from being a 4-way tie. So it almost was just like kind of a useless category. The
YouTube viewers
got a little Easter egg. And who's their 5th favorite egg are the Easter eggs.
Honestly, can we just... This is candidly between us two on air.
Candidly between us on air.
Between us two on air.
Yeah.
I thought... I was actually considering, as, we always have like a post-production or post-season meet on how we can improve for the next season or next year. And one thought that I had was that maybe we reorder the segments and move Best Line Yes Queen down, because in my mind I was like, oh, this isn't as impactful as some of the other ones, or it's not as eye-catching. However, the votes voted otherwise, that it was a very close favorite with all these, and they're all kind of the same. So I feel like the people say that we don't need to reorder them.
Yeah, maybe. I'm open to anything. Slide in our DMs if you agree, though, with what Chris is saying. I think that's a fair question to the listeners, is how do you feel about the flow of the episode, for sure. I do think we've made some great decisions. I like Mount Rushmore. I like what Westeros History Minute kind of pops up on a need-to-know basis. Yeah. We got rid of Get George a Date. We got rid of Unnecessary Titties. We've streamlined it. We've added Crown Their Ass. I got rid of the soundbite because it's just so nasty sounding. I hate it. The audio on it's bad. You Blew It's crisp. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
It turns out Unnecessary Titties was unnecessary in itself.
And it's like sort of like it's like, oh my God, it's like a Portal movie. It just fails to exist because it collapses into itself. When you are a segment called Unnecessary Titties, but you in fact are unnecessary, there's something, wow. Christopher Nolan would make a movie.
Well, in Night of the Seven Kingdoms, we're going to have a Trial by Combat. Well, wait, do we have, Do we have TBC in those episodes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. There
I'm
we go.
scraping the bottom of my mind at this point for Trial by Combat, but it's fun. We get some good ones. Boy, does he. Yeah. Boy, does he. Best showrunner. This was a 2-dog race because there's only 2 showrunners. There's Ira Parker and there's Ryan Condal. Ryan Condal technically also executive produces with Sarah Hess since they got rid of Miguel Sapochnik, but Condal still has final say. So it's Ira Parker and Ryan Condal. We'll give a shout out to Sarah Hess. We could say she's bumped in with Ryan Condal.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck both of them.
Ira Parker won.
Yeah.
And it was not close. Ira Parker had every single vote except for one, which was my older sister, and she does not watch these shows. I think she felt like she was being supportive and voted on every single category. She does not listen to my oldest sister does not listen to the pod. She does not watch the shows, but she voted on everything. And I was like,
so funny that Ryan got that vote.
Yeah, and he got that vote. And I wonder if it even registered to her that it was 93% to 7. And she was probably like, this is just wrong at this point. And at that point, it's no longer even an opinion. It's just wrong. But Chris, you said
Ira,
yeah.
So well deserved. And I think he's deserved the trust and basically handing the keys to the world, as we look at adaptations moving forward. It was truthful to the stories that were written, and it made these characters show up on the screen in the best possible way, the most vibrant way, the most engaging way where you actually cared about what happened to them. And yeah, this was very, very well deserved, and I'm glad that the voters agreed.
Yeah, totally agree. The man who wrote Andor is writing the Aegon's Conquest movie script. Don't be surprised if Ira Parker has a producer credit on that. He'll be involved in some capacity. Very coveted. Best show, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms or Dunk and Egg. Chris, I again, as the pod founder, hand it over to you. Who won best show for 2026?
I think we're seeing a theme here. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms for the best show of your Thronies in 2026. So well deserved. I can't speak highly enough of what we saw. I mean, Sheedy, add some thoughts here.
Agreed. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms hit me. And it really hit me in the heart. I loved the show. I love the characters. And something to be said about being crisp, being quick, telling your story, getting in, getting out,
How often are you watching television or movies or whatever, and you truly get, chills? You're like, holy crap.
Rarely. Genuinely rarely. And the Baelor scene did that for me. Even egg scene, the egg reveal scene. And I knew it was coming, and it did it for me.
Yeah. The Baelor scene was the last memorable time that I could, in Battle of the Bastards, where I literally started, suffocating. I had to, sit up in my bed because I was, watching on my phone at that time. I was like, why am I, losing my breath when Jon Snow's being caved in on from all these sides?
What makes Game of Thrones special is they had quite a few of those moments, and I haven't felt it really with House of the Dragon much. I've had moments where I've gotten emotional in terms of really driven by the performances. But Baelor Targaryen taking Dunk's side, it's just what it means in that moment. It's just this guy who just has so much to lose, but he says something like he was merely protecting the innocent as every true knight must, and he looks at Dunk almost like that's what I'm doing now. Yeah. I'm protecting the innocent, and there's something in a world where it's just so nasty all the time. Everything you hear is bad. To see someone in his position do that really hit me. I mean, it really hit me in the moment.
Well said. I'm not even going to add anything onto that.
Thank you.
All right.
Best performance.
Man, dude. We should do the Thronies. We should do the Thronies more often. This is a freaking blast.
Thank you. Best performance. The best performance of the year. This was a hot category. You could not go wrong with any of these four. You could not. The nominees for best performance, best acting performance: Sir Duncan the Tall, Peter Claffey; Egg from A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, Dexter Solancel; Emma D'Arcy as Rhaenyra Targaryen, or Tom Glencarney as Aegon Targaryen from House of the Dragon.
I think we deserve to spend a minute on each of these candidates here.
Do it. You should. Yeah.
Aegon went from someone that I hated seeing on screen, and even reading about. Quite honestly, I mean, the guy stood for everything I'm against. Listen, I'm a girl dad of 2 daughters, and if I fucking say that my daughters are the heir to whatever I have, then anyone who comes in and has a different opinion is going to be my mortal enemy. So, Aegon was that personified, and what Tom Glenn Carney did this season in making me almost like sit up in my seat, right? Like, oh my God, he's on screen. Like, this is engaging. Going that 180 from how I originally thought about him in season 2, and then honestly in episode 1 of season 3 to where we ended up, I was delighted to see him on the screen, which not saying I'm a Green supporter by any means,
No.
but like the guy killed it.
They nailed the Sunfire reunion. That's all I'm gonna say.
Nailed the Sunfire reunion. Rhaenyra.
We sucked. I was going to make an inappropriate joke, but we've sucked a lot of D this season talking about the acting. And Rhaenyra is a huge part of that, as was Aegon.
100%. Emma, in a lot of ways, Emma is the only reason why House of the Dragon is the cultural kind of movement that it is. Like, I mean, we were just, you sent me a post earlier today where a freaking undiscovered or a newly discovered lizard was named
Cyrex.
Cyrex.
That's
like,
cute. I like that.
It just, no matter what you have to say about the character Rhaenyra and the decisions that she made throughout, the only reason that people are tuning in every week and talking about it ad nauseum is because Emma's portrayal of that character has been insanely good.
It's Emma Darcy genuinely is the heart and soul of this show. Matt Smith is to a degree as well, I think. But just watch that scene when she has Jace's body in front of her and she's talking to her council about, have you not betrayed your queen? And the tears, the real tears, like snot coming from her nose. Like, it's genuine sadness.
Mm-hmm. I think the only misstep is the makeout scene with the smooch with Mysaria. This
could have been a little bit longer.
What's the little guy's name?
Dexter. Yeah, Dex.
Dexter. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, I'll kind of go both of these guys with Peter and Dex with Duncan Egg. I mean, there's not many times throughout a Game of Thrones, throughout a House of the Dragon, where you read about characters and what you see on TV is exactly what you pictured in the books. And Peter and Dex hit it literally on the head. I mean, the scene where Egg reveal, or they have the character reveal of Egg. I'm like, man, this. I have no notes.
Yeah.
I have no notes. Like, this was 100% how I imagined this happening. Yeah, hit it on the head. So
it's also terrifying that a 9-10-year-old is that good of an actor.
I know.
Well,
and now they're like, we have to hurry up and get through this stuff because he's going to grow up.
They're going to be filming season 3 before you know it. They're editing season 2 now. Early next year, they'll start filming season 3.
And he'll be a tall boy, I'm sure. He looks like it. So, why don't you read us off our winner here?
The winner was Rhaenyra Targaryen, Emma Darcy. Super deserved. And no one, though, that's not a slight on anyone else. Anyone in that category could have won. I love Peter Claffey and Egg and Dexter too have like a big brother, little brother thing when they do interviews. It's amazing. But Rhaenyra, Emma, like, very close vote, but they deserved it. Best supporting character, I disagreed with the winner of this one. The nominees were Baelor Targaryen, Lionel Baratheon, Corlys Velaryon.
Yes, there you go.
And Daemon Targaryen.
Why don't you lead us off with why you disagreed with the winner of this one?
The winner was Daemon Targaryen, and he's great, and we love Daemon. And Matt Smith is amazing. And oh god, to say disagree sucks because I asked Matt Smith's D this season too, and like he was awesome. But I think Baelor for my money, and even Lionel and Corlys, you can make a case for all of them. Number one though, Baelor. I think Baelor should have won
it. I tend to agree with you from an impact of the season perspective,
but
when we look at the scale, I mean the 8 episodes I think changes it a little bit. Like the Baelor scenes that we got, I would venture to guess over the course of the season we maybe had a total of 15 minutes of Baelor on screen.
Daemon getting shoehorned into Tubbleton,
like Daemon was on screen a lot, and each time he was on screen, it was high stakes. It meant something. And for what it's worth, in a Ryan Condal series, his decisions made sense. He had the same logic from season 1 to what we saw in season 3. And a lot of the choices that he was advocating for made a lot of sense. So I disagree with your disagree, but we're allowed to have opinions here.
Yeah, I'll edit all that bullshit. I didn't listen to a single word you just said.
I mean, you are the majority stakeholder.
I'm gonna edit that out. All right, talking about disagreeing is cool or whatever. Best new character, another strong category. These are characters that were just introduced to us this year in 2026. Obviously, United Seven Kingdoms was all new characters, but we wanted to mix it up a little bit. Aeron Targaryen, Sir Duncan the Tall, Ormond Hightower, Daeron Targaryen. Much stronger on the Knight of Seven Kingdoms side, I think. Ormond was great,
Agreed.
but just stronger on the Knight of Seven.
Agreed. Well, it's also when you're in season 1 of a show versus season 3 of a show.
Yeah.
For a new character, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah. I want you to read the winner on this one because this was you told me this show would save the Game of Thrones universe, and quite frankly, it did.
I'm happy to read the winner on this one. For the best new character of Deep Thrones, of the world of Ice and Fire, Throny 2026 goes to Sir Duncan the Tall. Well deserved. The guy, I mean, absolute workhorse. You cared about a character, I think, more than any other this year. Like, between the United Seven Kingdoms and House of the Dragon, I don't think there was one character that I cared more about the fate and what happened to than Dunk.
He reminds me of, he's like an NBA player, Yeah, he's big, he's tall, he's strong. You can't teach this. He's like LeBron. He's got that heart, he's got that drive.
He's got that heart.
And he's going to get rings. You just know this guy's going to get rings because he's got that heart and he's got that drive.
He's got that heart, and it is a mirror of, I say ourselves loosely. I don't know. We might have some psychopaths that listen to this, especially in Germany.
And make yourself known.
But it's a mirror of like what a regular person, a regular person who has goodwill would be like if you're just dropped into this world of Ice and Fire. And I think that resonated with people. Yeah,
and now he meets Egg, who is a Targaryen. He gets mixed up with him, but Dunk is the poorest of the poor. Mm-hmm. And conversely, House of the Dragon is Rhaenyra being like, I'm the fucking prince that's promised in a language that no one speaks,
Yes.
And I will say, to House of the Dragon's credit, they don't shy away from that. They acknowledge that, like, the small folk are sort of chaff to be utilized as a weapon. Mm-hmm. But Dunk is a small folk that we're not seeing being used as a weapon. Rather, we're following his journey,
And it's beautiful.
So this is the last category that was voted on. Then from here, it's categories that I'm going to be ripping through. But best dragon. This is the best dragon in the show. This is strictly from A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. From House of the one show I did, from House of the Dragon. I almost did put in Tanzel's puppet.
Oh.
Would have been interesting,
that
right?
Would have
thrown an angle, and then Aeron kind of has like dragon energy, so maybe I should have. Mm-hmm. Thinking of better ideas now and saying them live on the pod is unfortunate.
The Academy.
The Academy, a lot of people could have changed it. Best Dragon. Our nominees are Caraxes, Vhagar, Sunfire, and Silverwing. And again, I disagree with the winner.
Well, first of all, Silverwing's fucking out of here. I mean,
he had an amazing season. In terms of impact,
that's spoken like a true Green supporter right there.
He killed Ormond.
Well, yeah, I guess.
But I guess I did. That's hypocritical because I didn't tell you. Ormond is addition by subtraction.
Ormond had a knife up his booty at the time.
He wouldn't have survived that. Yeah, that's a good point. In that medieval time, like, there's no surgery.
You're catching a chill after that.
100%. He's gone. But yes, you're right. And Ormond dying is addition by subtraction because now Gwaine will lead Daeron, Aemond, and Aegon to the Promised Land. But go ahead.
Sunfire. Sunfire's strong.
Friend of the pod and last year's best fan, Rob Gallagher, said Sunfire should have won, and I tend to agree with him.
Sunfire should have won because Sunfire finished really strong, and I guess in a lot of capacities, finishing is really the most important part. However, Caraxes was consistent from episode 1 to episode 8. And Vhagar, I don't even know why the fuck Vhagar was on this list.
Was Vhagar in the season?
Vhagar I think's on vacation right now.
Vhagar should have been in the most slippery category.
Honestly, yeah, can we redact that award and give it to Vhagar?
How is this flying football field missing? Like, how does no one know where Vhagar is?
Dude, remember there was a video, we were talking about this, where someone broke down the amount of food and like cattle and sheep.
Vhagar's eating something.
That a dragon would need to eat.
There's just some dude in the Riverlands like, where's all my sheep?
Yeah. It was like tons per day.
Oh yeah.
Which is crazy.
But the winner, consistency. Caraxes. You can't be mad about Caraxes winning. I mean, I think Sunfire, because of that huge, I think emotional impact was huge, but Caraxes, you're right, was involved. Oh my God, all over the place.
Sunfire also has a lot of questions to answer.
That's true. Why was it chilling for so long?
Why was it just laying there for so long? Also, like, I mean, was it eating at the time? Was it cold? I mean, people were coming up and paying money to touch it, so if it was alive, it had no warmth to it. Why was it not decaying, and why were those idiots not like, oh, okay, it's not decaying? I think there's a lot of questions to answer if Sunfire wins.
Yeah, I think Silverwing and Caraxes turned out to probably be the strongest two.
I don't know about Silverwing.
Killed a lot of people. Strafed-runned a lot of people. Curious to see Vermithor, nothing there. Cyrex got tossed by Sheepstealer, and then his buddies joined in and picked up the pieces.
Cyrex did get an animal named after it, though.
That's true.
None of these
in the
other
real
ones
world, Cyrex probably, yeah, it's true. Yeah, I don't know. I like Caraxes. Caraxes deserved it. Best writer, as always, and this is important that Condal hears.
What if someone put Vermax on there?
Vermax, right in Vermax? Vermax, dude, people were pissed that Vermax got stuck twice. Yeah. Moondancer and Vermax? Yeah, it's true.
For those who aren't as plugged in, that's Jace's dragon who got pierced twice by scorpions.
Yeah, it's currently at the bottom of the gullet.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Best writer. George R.R. Martin, for the second Throny in a row, is the best writer. And the reason he's the best writer is because as much as I've ripped on him with his Doth protesting too much lately, his stories are so rich and he's given us so much.
When we started this podcast, we were the only ones that you could find that I Google searched that did this. That had like a Game of Thrones, other than like the official one, right? That like HBO had.
Even that came late in the game.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden there are hundreds, maybe more than that, and it's all because George R.R. Martin has such a vibrant world that's so in depth and multiple layers, and you need to know what's going on. Otherwise, you just see a character show up on screen, and you're like, why should I care about this person? What's going on here? So that just goes as a testament to
the man himself.
This stuff that he's built.
People are capable of such great good and such great evil. Like, I love listening to him talk about the world. I saw him do get asked. They're like, if you could have one hand of the king, would it be Tywin Lannister or would it be Otto Hightower? And he goes, oh man, could I have Tyrion Lannister? And everyone's like, no, that wasn't the option. You can't have Tyrion. Yeah, he's a little dork, but we love him. The most hopeful Throny. There was no vote on this. The most hopeful Throny goes to Aegon's Conquest. We hope the Aegon's Conquest movie moves swiftly. It'll be weird covering a movie. It'll be just like a one-off pod that's going to be like probably an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will cover it, and hopefully they make it baller.
I would imagine that it would be 3 parts, right? Maybe 2. Minimum 2.
They did say Dune style, which means squeakquels.
Okay.
There's going to be some squeakquels. There's going to be a second movie and a third movie. Is going to make bank.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing Balerion the Dread in IMAX, pretty cool.
Oh, they're probably going to do that annoying thing like the Odyssey did, where they put it in that 1 meter of film where only like certain IMAX theaters have it displayed correctly.
Oh, that's true. I wonder. Well, I'd be curious. Well, the Odyssey was like the only movie.
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan is very, but he was the first person with the Dark Knight to ever even use IMAX, so he's got like a weird IMAX fetish.
It's like Allison Neyman.
Yeah, very similar. Best this Throny means a lot to me and Chris. The person could not be here tonight. They had a prior engagement, but we know they'll be listening. Best TikTok creator / podcast member goes to
Kinzie. Our third member who cannot be here.
Couldn't be here.
We appreciate you so much.
Thank
we wouldn't
you.
be able to do this without you. Except we did do this without you for a few years, but forget about that. But now, moving forward, we wouldn't be able to do this without you.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, hell of a year. Like, you literally got married this year, added to your family in the most beautiful way, and we're so proud of that, and just love having you on the pod. So let's keep it rolling.
We love the TikTok creator that you've become. You know, watching you grow from someone new to TikTok to someone pretty good at TikTok to becoming someone who is very skilled at TikTok. And that means the world to me. And actually, it's funny, it started as that, but you're a very good friend of ours, but also someone who is on this podcast and has filled in for us and helped out. The Podcaster of the Year award. This is a big one. And someone who has had a great year, who is...
This wasn't on here before. Did you just add that?
No, that's a PDF, so there's no chance. All right.
All right.
Well, no, I added
Academy.
it. I added it right before I did.
Okay.
Not since you've seen it. Yes.
Okay.
I don't think you opened it until you got here, quite frankly. But Podcaster of the Year, the Podcaster of the Year award, and I just want to say, if I can, this person, if you remember, our schedules are tough. I don't have a family, and my schedule can be tough. Chris's is way tougher because he has a family and busy with work and all that good stuff. We had, definitely some adversity back in January, as we talked about on the pod, some stuff, some very difficult times. But you always come here bringing positivity and bringing knowledge about Westeros. And so that's why the Podcaster of the Year goes to Chris Sims, ladies and gentlemen. Speech.
Wow, thank you. There's zero chance I'm giving a speech here. Yeah, wow. Honestly, like you said, it's been a year, so I don't want to throw off the whole vibe of the podcast because this is kind of emotional for me. So, thank you. Very well accepted, and we'll keep it moving on a light note.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'm going to move the order here. Best podcast listeners are the entire Deep Thrones family. Of course, we do like the fun little best fan competition. It's a tough name for it because anyone who's listened to our podcast for 3 seconds, that's 3 seconds too much, genuinely. But we greatly appreciate it. So the best podcast listeners goes to the entire Deep Thrones family, whether you watch us on YouTube, whether you listen to us at 2 times speed in your AirPods while you work. It doesn't matter. We appreciate it. Thank you for that. It still counts as a listener.
We do very much appreciate it. It honestly, we talked about getting the text and everything. It makes our freaking days. And
we do.
It's the whole reason why we do this. It's just a blast, and we get to share this with people who actually... The fact that you tune in and spend time with us is crazy.
And we talked about this. We've had 2 different weddings where folks extended family, friends. And if you guys are listening right now, that genuinely meant so much. So thank you. And then finally, the fan of the year. We have 3 folks who qualified and quite frankly deserve this. And they're 3 very good friends of ours. So all 3 of them will be getting a Deep Thrones hat. But we don't want to minimize it. We don't want them to feel like it was, all 3 of you. Each person individually genuinely brought it this year for both shows. Would you like to read the first one?
I will read the first one with pride for Deep Thrones #1 fan. This is split, so don't get your head too big. Colleen McMahon.
Just after I give the speech about how I want it to feel like.
Well, but I'm reading out the one, so I don't want her to think, #1 fan, it's her.
Oh, in no specific order kind of thing? Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. And then Ellie
Mason was our other
Ellie
winner.
Mason Gallic, and Garrett Van Hall. You guys have shown up week in and week out. It's almost like clockwork. Like Monday hits, or sometimes we get complaints when we release a Monday night episode
or Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
But like literally, it's so much fun chopping it up with you guys, and you guys have had suggestions that have made it on air and mentions on air. It's so much fun.
Allie, each person I'll specifically say a thing for that I appreciate. Allie always sends us the best memes.
Yeah.
On Instagram right away to us individually, but also to the Deep Thrones Instagram, which I appreciate because that Instagram we're trying to get more engagement from. Garrett every Monday would give us his rating, which I appreciate, and Colleen is
and criticize our rating,
which is fair unless we were close. And Colleen again on every Monday would just text us like, "Hey, this is what I think." and also in the past very critical of our Mount Rushmores, if you recall. Used to be very critical.
Oh yeah, she slowed down on that.
Yeah, well, because we heat checked her a little bit.
Well, what do they get as our Deep Thrones #1 fan?
They win a Deep Thrones official hat. I'm holding it up for the YouTube version if you don't see it because you're listening. It is our beautiful golden crown logo with the DTP on there, the DT pod, I should say, with the beautiful yellow emblem, golden emblem, on a black trucker hat with the snapback. These are
premium and luxury.
Pretty high quality. They were.
You had to. It's premium and luxury. You got it.
Premium and luxury.
Yes.
Valerian and Valerian.
No. What?
Valerian. I really struggle with that because this actually was like a thing that has been a running thing. Like I struggled with this in season 1.
Yeah, well, I haven't brought it up before. I thought this would be the perfect forum to be able to do it.
It was just like an intervention, publicly shaming. All right, last thing I want to say, I wrote this down, so if you're watching on YouTube, bear with me. All right, this is going to be emotional. We started this podcast in 2018. That was 8 years ago. We technically started it in 2017, but 2018 was when we recorded. And now we're in 2026 with 2 shows, and as I said earlier, some of the most fun I've ever had doing this, and it's a testament to Chris and Kinzie. They make it so fun. We roll with the punches of being adults who have to do adult things while doing a very fun podcast in a mystical world. And it's also a testament to the amazing Deep Thrones family that is so engaging and so fun and so funny in you guys' own right. I wish we could have all of you guys on because you guys crack me up too. And this world of Westeros, we praise George for it. The world of Westeros is so fun. It's so silly. And again, if you spend any amount of time listening or engaging with this podcast, thank you.
Thank you so much. And why don't you just take a seat for a second and let me take this here. When you said it's a testament to me and Kinzie, I mean, get the fuck out of here. The whole this season started with you receiving the controlling shares of Deep Thrones, and it was for good reason, great reason. The effort and the time and effort you put into this podcast is beyond commendable. You are the reason this thing is going. I'll just put this out here. I mean, people need to know. The guy we record this late night, right? And then he shows up. The thing's released like clockwork Monday mornings or Tuesday mornings, right? But like, I mean, he's up editing the stuff until 1 a.m. Meanwhile, I'm long in bed by then. He's scheduling all the things. Like he mentioned, he put together this entire show today, and he said I didn't even open it till I got here. Questionable. We don't know. We'll leave that up for interpretation.
Yeah, that's hidden.
But like, I mean, just an absolute workhorse, and you don't give yourself enough credit, so I have to do it here. So thank you.
Oh man,
for all that you do.
I appreciate it.
And the whole socials. I mean, the guy posted all the freaking polls, but everything, even in the off season, he's posting stuff and keeping the Deep Thrones socials going. YouTube, the maps series.
I love the maps.
It's just again, absolute freaking workhorse. So thank you.
I love this world. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it. And I made a post about this. I just love talking about silly stuff with my friends, And we will be back for a Night of the Seven Kingdoms. When the trailer releases, we'll do a quick coverage of that. It won't be anything special, but we will be back in, I think it's March or April. They're hinting is when that season 2 will come out. We're going to be on a little bit of a break, but stick to our YouTube and our socials because we will continue to do map times. I may peer pressure him at some points to sneak onto a map time. We'll see.
Love it. Yeah. Get the kids. Just you text Sarah offline, and then we'll
plan something. We'll plan a little nap time. I got a good setup. We'll figure it out. But thank you guys very much, Chris. Anything else?
No, I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Allison, hit me up. I got a mommy issue.
Death wish, not to be messed with, tested quiz. They shooting shots.